Ladies and gentlemen of YouTube, Transformers fans everywhere, welcome back. LPS, Last Prime Speculator, here to bring you a spoiler review of the Bumblebee movie. Just letting you know, will be containing a lot of spoilers, so if you have not seen the Bumblebee movie, make sure to go look at my other review of the spoiler-free review, and then, once you see the movie, why don't you come back and tune into this episode. Now, in this spoiler review, I'm going to discuss the stuff I really was in tune with, the stuff that really made me excited in this, the stuff that I think that must be discussed. And I discussed a little bit of these in the spoiler-free review with certain stuff. This one, I'm going to go out on certain topics and discuss them. So if I miss something, that's why. This is the stuff that really caught my attention. This is what I'll be focusing on in this. So let's start with the Cybertron scene, the opening scene. We finally got to see the Battle of Cybertron. Wow, the detail in this, the colors, the epicness, the way that's the way to open a Transformers film, in my opinion. It was stunning. It was visually stunning. This event in the beginning of the movie is what we've all wanted. This is what you've wanted. This is what she's wanted. This is what he's wanted. This is what I've wanted. A dedicated Cybertron movie. We got it in this scene. It was roughly about 5 minutes. There were some flashbacks going on in it, but it was absolutely visually epic and stunning. I couldn't get over it. I was like, wow, what a way to open the movie theater, the showing of this. The Cybertron scene. We see the Autobots versus the Decepticons. You see the war. You see how it began and how it started and why they're here on Earth. It was incredible. The buildings falling down, the colors, the music, the moment. You felt you were witnessing the fall of Cybertron. There was a lot of similarities with the Fall of Cybertron game as well in this. You could tell that Travis Knight took ideas from that. But it was done so well. This felt like Cybertron. I think you guys would agree too. Now, little details I noticed in it. Now, there were, the first thing I noticed is when it said Cybertron, I noticed right away, and I told my wife this, that was the font from the IDW comics. Well, I mean, the Transformers font in general. You know, it has the Transformers, the little bold letters. Little Easter eggs like that, using the same font. And I say IDW Comics because the first thing that popped in my head, like the Transformers logo itself, where it said Cybertron. Little details like that is what makes something so awesome. Now, when we get to see the Transformer battle, when you see the Autobots versus Decepticons, you get to see Ratchet, you get to see Soundwave, you get to see Ravage, you get to see Shockwave, you get to see Brawn, which was awesome. I did not expect to see Brawn in there. You get to see Starscream, you get to see RC, you get to see the prophesized 13th Optimus Prime in this. I'm sure I'm missing a couple. It's still fresh, like I said, it's a little off of my brain and everything, but we saw the Battle of Cybertron, and their colors, the detail. You knew who they were, the way they were communicating, and way, you know, when Ratchet's taking, sending orders, and RC's sitting there pointing, Brawn's retreating. You get to see Cliff Jumper. You get to see what makes Transformers so great. You get to see all these great cameos, and you can tell them apart, and it's so smooth. It's a tad bit, the video game is just a little bit. No complaints though. It was awesome. The Battle of Cybertron. Give us a movie like that, man. We need that movie. Now, AllSpark Studios, you did a great job in that scene. We need this movie. You guys are up to a phenomenal start. The fans want this movie, okay? Along with the Optimus Prime movie, of course. But give us the Cybertron, the very beginning. It was visually stunning and visually incredible. I couldn't believe how many Transformers we get to witness in this. Let's talk about Shatter and Dropkick. Shatter and Dropkick, they were real Decepticons. They were deceptive, they were ruthless, they were very intelligent, they were cowards in their own way. You could tell them apart. The color of Dropkick and Shatter, you can instantly tell them apart. Little details where you actually can see their vehicle parts. You know what I'm saying? You could see that, you know, that they are triple changers. They had both elements. You know, with the Michael Bay films, they're kind of hidden. I'd say probably only really Optimus Prime is the only one you can really tell is the Western Star. You could tell their transformation and all their actual vehicle parts and air carrier parts. That's something that was really cool that I feel is overlooked, that's not being talked about. And when we witnessed Shatter and Dropkick on Saturn, killing Cliff Jumper. Yes, they killed Cliff Jumper. And, you know, Cliff Jumper, man, I don't know what it is. This guy cannot get a break. I'm sorry to the Cliff Jumper fans because he dies all the time. I remember in Transformers Prime, he was one of the first ones to die. Dwayne Johnson was voicing that. Cliff Jumper did die very heroically in this, though. I don't know if this was a little callback or an Easter egg or something though, but in that scene, as you know, in Revenge of the Fallen, when Megatron goes and meets his master, the Fallen, he goes up to Saturn. I don't know if that was a callback, if, you know, that's why they decided to make a base there originally to hide out from Earth, if that was a callback or just a coincidence, but I thought that was really cool. I'll say that for a future speculation, but I thought that was very interesting that they chose Saturn, the same place where the Fallen was. But yeah, the way Cliff Jumper was just sliced in half, you knew he wasn't coming back, and you instantly knew how ruthless Shatter and Dropkick were in that, and I thought that was epic as hell. I felt like this too. They were true Decepticons. They had all the traits of a Decepticon. I feel like that's something that's been lacked. Usually Decepticons are just there to die, just to be exploded. Let's be honest, we got Autobot fans, you got Decepticon fans, right? The Decepticons had their moment in this. You know, unfortunately, you know, they all die, right? We all know that they ended up dying and everything, but they actually had a Decepticon moment. It wasn't just they were there just to be shot and destroyed. And they had characters, they had personality. I loved Angela Bassett as Shatter. I hope I'm saying her name correctly. She was voiced and casted perfectly. I loved her as a leader in this. I was really excited when they picked her up because she's a phenomenal actress. I loved her in Black Panther. She nailed Shatter so well. Shatter was so ruthless and so smart and so mischievous and so deceptive. That's exactly what a Decepticon is. I felt Travis like grabbed that moment and gave the Decepticon fans something to like and cherish in a way. This was a well done Decepticon duo. I think it was also cool how they brought a little bit of violence in it too. Like, you know, not just Transformers die. Humans die in this as well. Humans do die. I think it was very creative though, you know, they keep it like soft and everything. With the way they die when they kill a human, they turn into like a slime or a goose and they completely evaporate. And I thought that was very cool. But I loved Shatter's, the way she persuades the humans, the way she, you know, well, you know, she's coming to Earth and she's here to help and we need to stop this criminal right now. And that's the whole goal of Shatter Dropkick, is to find Bumblebee, to find out why Optimus Prime sent him here. And what is the reason, which we find out is because they want to establish a base on our planet, and B-117 is actually Bumblebee, and he's sent here on Earth, and they're here to stop him from being able to basically report back to Optimus Prime in a way, and to find out he made it. The cool thing as well too in this movie is I loved how they established what Dropkick and Shatter were able to do. In this movie, they were actually the ones responsible for creating the World Wide Web, and it was well written on, I think, because during that time we're in a Cold War state. The Cold War is going on. And you know, back then it was the two powerhouses between the United States and Russia at this time, and during that nuclear Cold War stage. Now, them being able to use our technology to basically go global and be able to tap in at every other satellite and communication, looking for Bumblebee, they actually created the World Wide Web, which I thought that was very cool. So it's also for a scientist moment in that, where he's like, wow, this is incredible. And John Cena's like, dude, you're letting him go in all of our satellites? That doesn't seem too safe. Actually seems pretty scary. But I thought that was pretty cool, how they made the World Wide Web and everything. Very, you know, very creative, kind of predictable, but still really cool. It gave them a purpose. So who would have thought that Shatter and Dropkick are responsible for the World Wide Web? Now let's talk about Bumblebee. Bumblebee in this film is incredible. He starts out in the beginning and he can talk. On Cybertron, he can talk. You get to see him in Prime. You get to see the moment of him and Optimus together on Cybertron, which is incredible. The way he looks up to Optimus and the way that Optimus loves his Autobots that's Optimus Prime, guys. I know we're in the Bayverse, we're kind of used to Prime being really ruthless and vengeful, and this is how Optimus is. Optimus will do anything for his allies and his friends. He is a true leader, and I love the way that Bumblebee looks up to him. And right when Bumblebee comes out too, you know, you see Prime, you know, does the whole little scene of you got the touch, and does a whole flip and everything, and call back to G1 as well too. And then he said, where's BB-17? And then Bumblebee comes right in and everything, and you see the warrior side of Bumblebee as well. And we finally get to see him talk. I can't remember the gentleman's name who played him though. I know he's from the Maze Runner, but he did a really good job when he sent him on his mission. And I thought it was really sad in the beginning when he was leaving Earth, or I'm sorry, leaving Cybertron, and he's looking out his window and you can physically see his home being destroyed, and seeing him leave his leader there to cause a distraction so he can get off and establish base and operations in Earth as well. And I thought that was really epic. You get to see the leadership of Optimus, and you also get to see the heroic side of Bumblebee. I mean, imagine how hard that was. And Travis Knight really captured that moment really well through, again, his voice. He could actually talk. Now, when he comes on Earth and everything, the military is training, and, you know, they obviously see an alien for the first time, and just being typical humans, being normal, they're going to be hostile. And they were a little bit. And when Bumblebee takes his first scan and he scans into a Jeep, a military Jeep, I thought that was really cool. I thought that the way he was able to do that, and the way he's able and how they go in their brain and they can see, you know, picking up certain objects to transform, I thought that was very cool. And then we get to see how he actually loses his voice too. Apparently Blitzwing is the one in this universe who makes Bumblebee lose his voice. It is not Megatron, it is Blitzwing. Blitzwing is the reason why Bumblebee cannot speak anymore. That scene was really cool. It was really fast though. I mean, shit, I'll be honest again, this is a spoiler video. Blitzwing dies really fast. You get to see Bumblebee's badass side as well as his soft side as he's telling the humans, you guys need to get out of here. I don't want to hurt anybody. I don't want to, you know, I don't want to kill anybody. You guys need to go. Blitzwing is on his way. And Blitzwing comes in really epic, had that, you know, that menacing voice. I thought it was John Goodman originally, but yeah, Blitzwing dies very fast. I remember looking over to my wife and being like, "Wow, that's it. That was fast." I heard in the trailers though they spoiled that, which is kind of weird. But yeah, I thought Blitzwing was going to be the main villain in this. No, he's not. He is there to die. He's there to basically take Bumblebee's voice box, and he's there to die. And the way he kills him is pretty cool. But I also love the part when he lost his voice box and he lost his memory core and he falls down the cliffs and everything, and when he scans the Volkswagen Beetle, you get to see his memory core and him losing his memory and him taking that form right before it happens and when he loses his voice. I thought that was absolutely awesome too. I also loved Charlie and Bee's story in this. I thought it was done perfect. I loved how she raised him in a way like a puppy dog. It did have the E.T. Iron Giant feel. Definitely. You could definitely feel Steven Spielberg was involved in the making of this movie. A lot. He definitely had influences. I know at the end of the movie, it's so, like, you know, producer Michael Bay, executive producer Steven Spielberg. My opinion was Michael Bay wrote the check and Steven Spielberg was helping Travis Knight. Here, put this here, put this here. Use this idea. Use this. It felt like this was made with love. And Charlie and Bee's connection in this, from, I'm assuming, the E.T. ideas, was phenomenal. It was like she was raising a puppy dog. You gotta think, she's gotta build this character up. She's gotta build Bumblebee. Bumblebee has no memory, can't talk. He's a little Bumblebee. He's a little, at this time, when Blitzwing takes all this, he doesn't remember anything. And he doesn't even know why he's here. And I thought that the way she raised him, and then also the parts where, you know, she was doing work on him, and then we see Optimus Prime sending a message out to him, and she's like, wow, there's a war coming. What's going on, Bee? Do you remember? And Bee's just being all playful. I also love the way that when she was teaching him how to prank and, you know, have fun and hide, Bumblebee literally destroys a car. Like, they're trying to get him, I can't remember exactly how it started, but Bumblebee ends up destroying this girl's car because of bullying. So they start out T-paying, you know, you see the commercial, Bumblebee grabs a TP, launches it over, and then sitting there like going the thumbs up, like, hey, I did good, right? Really, really cool, really cute too. And when he's destroying the car, that was hilarious as well. And again, the way he speaks through the radio, I loved how she taught him how to speak through the video. Actually, no, Bumblebee learned how to speak through the radio. I don't even think Charlie suggested. Bumblebee started to speak through the radio, and you can see the growth in the way she was raising him and the way she was making Bumblebee become who he is again. It was very, very, very well done. Now let's talk about the humans in this. The humans, this was the first time I actually enjoyed the humans. The humans were actually a good time in this. Haley Steinfeld, again, was casted absolutely perfect. I loved her story. I love her origins. I think she was very likable. She was easy to relate to. There was a lot of features about her that anybody could gravitate to. I think I would love to see her back again. I would absolutely love to see her back again. I think she did a great, great job. Now, George Lendenberg is Mimo. I liked Mimo. I thought Mimo was a good comic relief. I didn't know too much about him before. I'm going to check out his other stuff now. I think he did a great job. He was there for comic relief. He wasn't forced upon. He wasn't in your face. He was a good second leading character, and I thought he brought a perfectly well balanced for Charlie. He starts out, he wants to, you know, ask Charlie on a date. Walks in, and then I'm seeing Transformer, and then Bumblebee, of course, transform and hide. It's too late, and she's like, no, you cannot tell. And he ends up becoming friends with Bumblebee as well. So the secret is now just not just with her, Charlie, it's with Mimo as well. And I think he did a really good job. Let's talk about John Cena. John Cena was all right. John Cena, he did decent. When he had that scratch on his side, I thought for sure he was a G.I. Joe. I did a video, I'll leave the link up there, where I thought that John Cena was going to be the first G.I. Joe. And I can't remember, when he had that scar on his face, I was like, I think that's Snake from G.I. Joe. Allspark Studios taken over this, and Allspark, you know, Hasbro, they're all connected. It's all about selling toys, right? I thought for sure that he was going to be the first G.I. Joe in this. They didn't announce it. I think they could set it up that route down the road. But he was alright. I mean, he didn't have too many, you know, like, boring... I didn't feel like a dryness with him so much. I loved him at the end when the final battle took place, and he salutes Bumblebee and everything, and then you see Bumblebee go like this, which is awesome. But he let him get away. And John Cena knows there's Transformers out here, man. And not too many people know that in the world itself. I think he did alright, though. I did have a problem with the humans, though. I had a problem with the parents and the son. They were annoying. I could have dealt without them. I couldn't stand them, I'll be honest. I didn't know if it was because it was so relatable, knowing that Charlie was being, you know, pushed to the side, and, you know, the little brother, he had his moment, but again, they were very annoying. The stepdad was annoying, the mom was annoying. Did not like them. Could have dealt without them. Personally, next time, just don't bring them. You know, keep the humans simple. I know what they're trying to do, you know, have Charlie's story told and everything through her parents and everything. They were boring, dude. I did not like them at all. They were actually cringeworthy. They made me a little annoyed. That was the only thing Travis said I guess I really didn't care for. It was their parents. I understand you gotta put them, but yeah, could have dealt without them, man. They were definitely cringy. There's gonna be moments where you're like, oh god, ugh, ugh. You'll know when you see it though. Now let's talk about Optimus Prime. We finally get to see Optimus Prime in his G1 form. I've waited so long for this. I knew right away that Travis Knight was the right one when I saw him in his G1 form, and I was looking for something very important with Optimus Prime. Obviously, his flat nose, right? Obviously, his colors, the blue and red, right? The voice of freedom. I was looking for him to talk with his what do you call it? His battle mask. His battle mask, the way it goes up and down, that's how Optimus Prime talks and communicates. And that's exactly how he talked and communicated in this. That part when he jumps on the beginning and does the, you know, you got the touch from the G1 movie, the Transformers movie, that was epic. You get to witness why he is the leader of the Autobots and why he's so beloved. He was a true leader. This is where Optimus became Optimus Prime in the face of Transformers. Like that scene where he's like, you know, he's like, soldier, get out of here. I'm going to create a diversion. And you see him jump off. And you got to admit, most of the Decepticons can fly in this battle. Prime can't, and just the way he jumps off all heroically, and I can't remember which seeker he was on, but seeing him flying, I was like, oh my god, I was sitting there like getting the goosebumps. This is what I've waited for, and please give me an Optimus Prime movie. The details with the Cybertronian symbols on his face, the way he was speaking, and I got the goosebumps when he, you know, he had the little signal to Bumblebee, and he said, "Stay safe, soldier. I'm coming." Oh. Give me an Optimus Prime movie. Give it to me. Give the fans want it. I'm going to be doing a video about this Lorenzo guy because I know he's been talking about the future of Transformers. So stay tuned to that because I'm going to do a little bit of rant on that gentleman named Lorenzo and what he's been saying. There's some stuff that I'm not happy about with him at the moment. We'll save that for a future video. But give us what the fans want. Give it what Peter Cullen wants. An Optimus Prime Origins movie. Make that movie. Stop bluffing. Do it, Allspark Studios. Now let's talk about the ending. Is this a reboot or is this not a reboot? This is what I want to talk about. This is probably the biggest question mark and the hypest moment and also the most head-scratcher moment as well. We know that this was rumored to be a prequel, and at the very end, Bumblebee becomes the Camaro that Sam Witwicky finds in the first movie. Yes, he becomes the Camaro. He transforms into a Camaro. That was actually a cool moment too, when Haley was like, "You could transform into this. Why didn't you do this before?" And the sad moment when they get to say bye to each other, that was really sad. Very well done too. Great angle shots, great camera view, great moment. But when he becomes the Camaro, he then also rides next to Optimus Prime in his flat nose with his giant carrier truck in the back too. That was beautiful. That was awesome. And I thought that was going to be the ending right there. And I was like, okay, so this has to be a reboot, right? Okay, well then you get to see Optimus Prime and Bumblebee in the woods together at night, and Bumblebee's talking to him, and Optimus is, you know, basically saying, you know, good job, being all heroic, being the leader he is, and then you get to see the arrival to Earth. You get to see, I believe it was either 6 or 7, I can't remember. I'm going to see it again, so I'll be able to let you know how much. But the arrival to Earth happens again in this movie. Now, is this a prequel or a reboot? Because that's how it ended. Now, obviously we know the Camaro was from the Sandwich Wiki days. The arrival to Earth was from the Sandwich Wiki days. So does that mean there's 2 arrivals to Earth? Or is this a reboot? I don't know. I feel that this is a reboot, and they refuse to call it a reboot. Again, I'm going to talk about that Lorenzo guy in a future video. I'm not happy with him, by the way. Again, I know I've said that repeatedly, but I will explain that down the road in the future video. I'm already working on that script for that one. It's something that's really bothering me. This feels like it is a reboot, because how can you have 2 arrivals to Earth? Optimus was not down here when Bumblebee was down here, and I don't know if this is about, 1 through 3, or if they're not going to acknowledge Age of Extinction last night, because Bumblebee was here during World War II, right? Apparently not. Apparently he's during the 80s, which I'm fine with. But you got some continuity errors if you are not calling this a reboot, because this is physically impossible. There's no way you can connect all this. It's absolutely impossible. I hope they go the reboot route, because when you see the arrival of Earth, you get that goosebump and that magic feeling back. And that's what Transformers was all about. And it ends with Bumblebee and Prime, and then you see that moment, and then you're like, this has to be a reboot. There's no way this can be a prequel, because there's too many holes and too many continuity errors to make this. It's still awesome, though. The ending is still phenomenal. Travis Knight did a phenomenal job. The casting was done correctly. Like I said, the only part that really annoyed me was the parents in this. Otherwise, this is not just a good Transformers movie. This is a good movie. It's a great story. It's true. Less is more. You could tell that this script is a safe script, but it's so well done. Travis Knight brings the hope and the love back for Transformers. Now, I've been seeing some box office numbers and everything, which I'm ignoring. I feel like you guys already know how I feel. To make this a success, it had to have a popcorn and a tomato, and it's already got that Rotten Tomatoes. I believe it says 94% right now on Rotten Tomatoes. And out of all the big 3 movies, Aquaman, Mary Poppins, and Bumblebee is having the best reviews by far. I knew this was going to be a hard time for it to make money. I think it's going to do very well this week and the week after. This is a big, movie time where the word of mouth is getting out. I think they're also going to make a lot of money during the streaming time. I'm going to let you know how we grade all my movies. We grade with an Energon and a Dark Energon. Here, let me explain. A Energon, think of it as a tomato. If you get an Energon, you're getting a tomato. That means I recommend this movie. If it's Dark Energon, think of it as a rotten tomato. That means I will not recommend this movie. Obviously, this is getting an Energon all day. It's a 94%. It's that for a reason. The storytelling, the direction. This is the best Transformers movie I've seen. I know that's not saying much, because all of them have been not at times the best. I'm a fan of the franchise because I'm a Transformers fan, dedicated fan, diehard fan. This is a good movie. It's a good movie, and it's good for all ages. And please, please, please go see this movie. Please spend your money. Please take your family there. Please have a good time and watch a good film. If you're alive during the 80s, you're going to love it for the music. If you're new to the Transformers family, you're going to love it just for that, and that epicness and the moments of that Travis Knight brings to life with these Transformers. So, I recommend this movie, and please go see it. If you're new to this channel, make sure to consider subscribing and turn on all notifications. Don't forget to like and share this video, and don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter at Prime Speculator. That way you can stay up to date with all my Bumblebee speculation, spoilers, news, and all that good stuff. To my subscribers, I love you so much. Peace.